The city of Bloomington is partnering with local housing groups to tackle street homelessness, people living without shelter in places such as encampments and cars. As Ethan Sandwise reports, the new plan focuses on long-term housing but cuts some services for recent arrivals in the county.
Surveys by the South Central Housing Network show that the number of people living unsheltered in Monroe County has increased over the past 5 years, from less than 30 to almost 120. That's likely an undercount.
The problem is that we have more people entering our homeless response system than we can quickly move into housing.
The plan aims to cut unsheltered homelessness in half by the end of 2027 and 70% by 2030. Heading Home, Beacon, Wheeler Mission, HealthNet, New Hope for Families, and Middleway House developed the plan over 2 months of discussion with the city. The Housing First strategy includes expanding the number of shelter beds while providing more permanent solutions, such as low-rent units.
If we want to work with people to actually get permanently housed and to heal from the traumas that they have experienced in their lives, we need to be investing strategically in a plan that we think is going to work.
The plan calls for a short-term pause on welcoming unhoused people from outside the region to overnight emergency shelters, focusing on reunification services instead. That could include buying bus tickets or gas for transportation out of town. The group did not reach a consensus on that part of the plan.
The region we encompass a 6-county area in Region 10, and we are the largest city in that region where people can come and find those resources necessary during their time of need. And that's unfortunate because we have a limited amount of resources in this region.
The U.S. Supreme Court ruled in June that communities are allowed to arrest and ticket people for sleeping in public. The group expects an influx of out-of-town homeless as nearby areas crack down. When they do, it increases the burden on Monroe County.
It's imperative for every community, and the real challenge is that every community is not stepping up to that imperative.
But most local unsheltered people have lived in the county at least 2 years. The group plans to increase shelter beds for medical respite and other services as needed. Long-term, it wants to add more than 1,000 housing units in the next 3 years, with rent under $500 per month. The report says Monroe County needs almost 9,800 more affordable units to close the gap. That could mean building new units or subsidizing rent for costlier places. On top of that, the plan says more case managers are needed to keep people in those homes.
The challenge is we just don't have the housing. And so if we had housing that was ready for people and the support aside with that, coupled with that, then we would be able to have a pretty big impact, which I'm excited about with this plan.
The plan also envisions restructuring the local criminal justice system around inpatient recovery and mental health care. The idea is to keep people off the street once they've been housed. Mayor Carrie Thompson says the city is done advocating for non-shelter options.
I would much rather invest a larger amount of money in actually solving a problem than continue to put money at really mitigating the effects of a problem.
The city plans to fund the program with grants, low-income housing tax credits, remaining American Rescue Plan funds, and private sector investment. The plan is available to read at headinghomeindiana.org. For Indiana News Desk, I'm Ethan Sandwise.
The city of Bloomington and Heading Home of South Central Indiana will host a public workshop next Tuesday to talk about strategies to reduce unsheltered homelessness. City Council will discuss the topic Wednesday.